नाचत आई गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत आई गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे गोविंद राधे। नाचत आए गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत आए गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। ब्रह्मा भी आए विष्णु भी आए। ब्रह्मा भी आए विष्णु भी आए। संग में आए सरस्वती आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। संग में आए सरस्वती आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत आए गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत आए गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। राम भी आए लक्ष्मण भी आए। 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 संग में आए सीता सती आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। संग में आए सीता सती आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत बंसी बजावत कृष्ण भी आए। बंसी बजावत कृष्ण भी आए। संग में आए राधा रानी आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। संग में आए राधा रानी आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत आए गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत आए गणपति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। संकट मोचन बजरंगी आए। संकट मोचन बजरंगी आए। भक्ति के संग देने शक्ति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। भक्ति के संग देने शक्ति आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे। नाचत आए गणपति 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 आनंद राजी गोविंद राधे।
प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। सबको सीताराम. Let me extend a very warm welcome to each and every one of you, those of you who are joining us here physically at the Mandir on Todd Street, and for those of you who are viewing us online on either Facebook or YouTube, Shubh Swagatam. I must confess that I think since the resumption of the Mandir, with probably the exception of Mahashivratri, this is the most I've seen the Mandir filled physically with devotees. And it is a good segue to what was commented upon by Don LG at the Vishnu Mandir, where we were there a few moments ago. When we were bringing the Murti, or just about to leave Vishnu Mandir, we invited Don L, and I'm sure all of you know him, For he referred to us at the Mandir as his brother Mandir, and many of the devotees here as his very favored clients or customers. So we all know who Donnell is. He stands as a pillar for Dharma, and he is a family person, and as we've been reminded this morning, he is in charge of 38 Mandirs in South Trinidad and in that area. So he is someone who has dedicated his life to Dharma and the propagation and protection of Dharma. And he made a very potent comment that the Ganesh Utsav festival, which will commence in earnest on Tuesday, is a festival not of an individual nature. It is not a festival that if you can avoid it, that you should stay at home in your puja room and perform this puja by yourself. Obviously, if circumstances don't allow you to, then you have no choice but to do so. In the 2 preceding years, with COVID, with the pandemic, and with the restrictions imposed, we were forced to constrain our activities to an almost individual level. But still, activities and puja continued here at the Mandir in the absence of the devotees yourselves who would normally be here. And Donnell made a very potent point, as I said, and I want to remind us of it because we're all familiar, that Ganesh Utsav, like Navaratri, like Diwali, like Mahashivratri, is an opportunity for us as Hindus to come together, each supporting the other, each providing that wonderful vibration and that upliftment for each other, to join in unison as we offer puja to Ganapati Bappa. And so, brothers and sisters, I want to urge us all that this is an opportunity that presents itself to us annually, starting this Tuesday, and let us embrace the opportunity. During the period of the Utsav, all of our faculties will be activated. All of the faculties that we've been blessed with will be activated and be used towards the performance of puja to Ganapati Bappa. What is the relevance of that for us? It is a reminder of who we are, from whence we have come, and where we will be going or seek to go. In a nutshell, that is the philosophy of this puja and this festival. Who are we? Think about it. We are more than just this flesh, these bones, this physical makeup. We are much more than that. Where have we come from? Certainly it is not 52 years ago when I was born, or for some people 79, or for others still 23 years ago. That's not when we came from. We are much, much more than that. And where are we going? It is more than just a physical destination. It is more than just a financial or relationship achievement. It is more than the acquisition of material things. It is much more than that, our destination. And so this festival, this puja, reminds us in a very tangible, in a very meaningful way, not only at an individual level, but at a community level, at a family level, at a national level, and indeed at a global level, of how important it is for us to come together, to support each other, and to strive for even better. So this morning, bringing the Murti in this fashion is an attempt to awaken that reality in us. Because as I said, this is the most people I've seen in the Mandir, and I'm sure persons viewing on. We have that yearning, we have that longing, because we recognize that yes, you can perform your puja at home. Yes, you could do your offerings at home, but it is even more beneficial when we come together in situations like this. This is not my word. Our scriptures themselves say that. In Ramcharitmanas, we are reminded again and again, Binu Satasanga Vivekana Hui, how wonderful it is to come together to offer your puja, to offer your love with persons who are like-minded, with persons with a similar focus, and so you can derive that energy. So brothers and sisters, this morning I want to firstly remind us of the potency of this puja. And each and every one of us will be invited to perform our puja, to come together like this, to listen to katha during the yajna, and indeed to uplift ourselves by ourselves, as we are told in Bhagavad Gita. We uplift ourselves by ourselves. We are told again we are our own greatest enemy and we are our own greatest friend. All of these words, all of these scriptures all tie in together. So what would be the program of events? Just to recap, on the 1st of August, Gaudi Mata Puja was performed right here. That dirt was consecrated, as I said before, and this murti was crafted. On Tuesday, the Pran Pratishta Puja will be performed, starting at 10 a.m. And you are invited to come to attend. I know it's a working day, but it's not yet school. So the younger ones, we look forward to seeing you all from 10 o'clock in the morning. When that is finished, from the next day, the 31st, and that's a public holiday, a very significant day in the history of this republic. It marks 60 years of independence, and I'll speak a little bit more about that shortly. From that day, every evening from 6 p.m., we will be having satsang and we'll be having puja, which will involve individual offering, individual charhawing, individual puja. So we invite you to come. We may be until about 7:30 latest each evening. Donnell has asked, for those of you when you're finished here, to come to his Mandir and to join with him in yajna, because they're having yajna every night. So when you leave here for those nights, from the 31st until the 5th, I invite you to go to Donnell's Mandir, the Vishnu Mandir at Esperance Village, and join with him in yajna after you finish your puja here. The 6th, 7th, and 8th, don't go by Donnell. Stay right here, because we are having 3 nights of yajna. And note the forum I'm directing you to. I'm directing you to a Mandir. I'm not directing you elsewhere. Because Ganesh Ji Puja is puja. It is not fanaticism. It is puja. It is not fanaticism. Let us be reminded of that. It is puja in a devotional way. We are not commercializing anything. From the murti that was crafted and how it was done, to what we offer, how we offer, and how we behave. Understand, my brothers and sisters, the wonder of this puja and the nature in which it is being done. You know, very often we are all enraptured by mystical things, by things that seem so extraordinary that we lose sight of the reality. Every time I pass up that highway going to Port of Spain, particularly on a weekend, I'm always amazed to see a big mandir with nobody there, and a structure on the side with everybody there. Because the structure on the side affords some level of mysticism and something that seems so extraordinary that people are attracted to that. But never lose sight of the reality of our teaching. It is not mystical, it is scientific. It is not extraordinary, it is ordinary. It is just like you and I, but it is most powerful. So when we are reminded of these things, let us engage in the puja. So from the 31st straight on to the 5th every evening. The 6th, 7th, and 8th, we'll having 3 nights of yajna. Pravachan will start at 7 to finish at 8:30. Prior to that, whoever is sitting to perform the puja will be performed before that. And when we finish at 8:30 every night, bhojan will be prepared, but in a way to take away. We're still within a pandemic. Let us not forget that. Let us not lose sight of that. Yesterday alone, 400 and something cases, 5 persons lost their lives. So let us not bury our head in the sand and think that, forget it all, we don't require precautions. We still require precautions, and that's why we are adhering to that here at the Mandir. From day one, we have been very mindful to abide by the law and to guard your safety, because you are very valuable devotees to us. You are very valuable devotees to us. And so we will follow that trajectory. 6th, 7th, and 8th, yajna. And then on the morning of the 9th, we will have the Visarjan again here. Why? Because the other facilities do not allow us to come together in a safe way to immerse the murti. So we are doing the immersion right here. Right where the murti was, the process began, right here it will end as well. And that is the worship that will take place. That is the puja that will take place. And we invite you all to be part and parcel of that. So please, I invite you to share these invitations, and they will be disseminated as they have been electronically. All of you viewing on, those of you who are here or who are returning to the country after vacation, you are all invited to the Mandir. And spread the message to your friends, your neighbors, your family members. Come together in a safe, positive, uplifting environment so that we can all uplift each other and draw ourselves closer to Bhagwan. I won't go too much into the non-secular aspect this morning, but I want to touch very briefly before I hand over to the group on the coming celebration on Wednesday of our 60th anniversary of independence. So we ask ourselves the question, and you'll have many celebrations and many things going on. Does 60 years of independence mean anything for us at an individual level? Is it just another public holiday? For many of us it is. And in this country, many of us, sometimes myself included, start to become very cynical. Think about when you are in company with others and you are having discussions about your life, your livelihood, your lifestyle. And invariably, a large percentage of that conversation will be about the negative things in this country. The road's so bad, I don't get water. If I had to go to the hospital, I have to wait days to get treatment. If I go to any public institution, whether it be the licensing office, the immigration department, or any government ministry, I don't get the service that I want. There's so much corruption. There's no hope for the economy. Those themes sound familiar. And the last one, which we are all speaking on our lips now, the crime situation is out of control. So very often when we get together in conversations, this is the direction and theme of our conversations, myself included, up to yesterday evening. But I pause and I reflect, because blended with that must be a sense of gratitude that we should have, each of us. Because regardless of whatever, this is our home. This is our home. You may want to pick yourself up and return to India and say, that's my home. But when you go there, while you may look similar to our brothers and sisters in India, you are not one of them. That is not your home. This is your home. And we must never lose sight of that. Some of us, because of the proliferation of social media, television, movies, and whatever, we think the United States is our home. And I'm awestruck with so many young ones who speak in a fluent American accent, even though they are native Trinidadian. Why? Because they're so exposed to what's happening in North America. So many young ones now, when you listen to how they speak, because of the length of time spent viewing things from North America, because they're locked up, they're in a home, there's the pandemic, whatever else, the accent is very heavily North American. Alai? Think about it. But that is not our home. This is our home. And our foreparents who've come here, we just celebrated a few short months ago Indian Arrival Day. They choose to come here. Many of them, not all of them. And they chose to make here their home. And they embraced our culture, and they nurtured our culture and our traditions to keep it, to propagate it, to nurture it, so that we would be the beneficiaries of it. 60 years after independence, we ask ourselves, are we better or are we worse off? There are many negative things, unquestionably, but there are also many positive things about Trinidad and Tobago. And it pains me now that many people see no choice but to tell their children directly, stay away. If you're going abroad to study, don't think about coming back, because there's nothing here for you. I've heard Many persons say that to their children. I've heard many young people think it and say it openly. If I go away, I'm not coming back. And that is a sad state of affairs. Because as much as things are bad here, there are things that we can change. There are things that we can change. 60 years of independence is a milestone. But do we have, or have we had, independent thought? Or are we still manipulated by persons, particularly politicians, who tell us what to think, who tell us what choices to make and we follow blindly, and whom we do not hold accountable for poor governance and poor decision making? Do we follow blindly the colors of a party without understanding that we are truly the ones in power, not them? We always hear politicians talking about their servants of the people, but are they really servants of the people? Many of them are not. They are self-serving. Many of them are, not all. And so the powers that be, as far as that arena is concerned, we must choose wisely, always. 60 years of independence, what does it mean to us? Do we understand the words of our national anthem? And this morning I was very tempted to ask everyone, and I think I might do that. Let us stand and sing our national anthem together. And as we sing those words, let us understand what they mean for us. Let us understand what it means to be patriotic. Let us understand what it means when our words say discipline, tolerance, and production. What does that mean? When we are told together we aspire, together we achieve, what does that mean? Does it resonate with us? Brothers and sisters, the fact that we could come together in a free society on a morning like this to exercise our dharma, to exercise our rights, our freedoms, is something that we should never take for granted, because there are many places that that would not be afforded. We must always be grateful for those things, and our home allowed us that. For many persons who acquired wealth and developed their businesses, this place afforded you that. Your hard work, yes, but there the opportunities were here. For all of us who got an education, we started right here. So we must never lose sight of those things, and we must be grateful for them. So when we pray, we don't only pray for ourselves. We do not only pray for our families. We do not only pray for our community, but we also pray for country. Just look at our brothers and sisters from Venezuela and what they were forced to do in order to preserve life and livelihood. We are a few short, bad decisions away from a situation like that. But it is not too late. It is never too late. So let us always be mindful of our country as we celebrate independence. What does it mean? Well, the Queen is no longer our head of state. It's not that alone. It's much more than that. It is the power to govern our direction in this life and our country and the direction of our country. The power to make decisions and have those decisions respected. Those are great powers, but they come with responsibilities that each of us must exercise. And so it is unfortunate sometimes that we only focus on the negatives of our country and ignore the many, many, many positives. The very many talented people, the very many educated persons who've contributed in all spheres of endeavor, business, science, agriculture, you name it, we've had persons on the world stage who've excelled and continue to excel. And therefore it is that we must always remember that and inculcate that pride in our children, because this is our home, regardless of what we might think. So before I hand us over to perform Arati on the occasion of our 60th anniversary of independence, which we will all be celebrating and we should celebrate, I invite us all to stand and sing together with me the words of our national anthem. Everybody, including members of the group, forget the instruments. And whenever we go into a forum and the national anthem is being played, let us still sing. Let us not think about the instruments playing it, but let us sing the words, and let us cherish the words, and let those words have meaning for us. I invite us all, as we stand at attention, to join together now as we sing the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Forged from the love of liberty, in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Please be seated. Happy Independence to each and every one of us. I invite you now to come forward and to perform your arati as individuals or as family members. Again, please keep the masks on, sanitize, wear the gloves, perform your arati. There's nothing at the Bedi. We haven't performed puja this morning here. So you can find your arati to the altar and to the murtis above. Jai Sita Rambol.
गणपति जगवंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन गाये गाये गणपति जगवंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन गाये गणपति जगवंदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सदन गज वदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन मांगत तुलसीदास कर जोरे बस ही राम सिया मानस मोरे मांगत तुलसीदास कर जोरे बस ही राम सिया मानस मोरे मांगत तुलसीदास कर जोरे बस ही राम सिया मानस मोरे मांगत तुलसीदास कर जोरे बस ही राम सिया मानस मोरे गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन 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 शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन गौरी मैया की सुत बलवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की गौरी मैया की सुत बलवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की हे विघ्नेश्वर विघ्न विनायक हे दुख हरता सब सुखदायक हे विघ्नेश्वर विघ्न विनायक हे दुख हरता सब सुखदायक सिद्धेश्वर कृपा निधान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की सुख समृद्धि बल बुद्धि प्रदाता, रिद्धि सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, सुख समृद्धि बल बुद्धि प्रदाता, गणनायक देव महान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की। विषय हरो प्रभु भक्ति दान दो, विनय करे आदेश प्राण दो। विषय हरो प्रभु भक्ति दान दो, विनय करे आदेश प्राण दो। मंगल में शक्तिमान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की। गौरी मैया की सुत बलवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की करे आरती गणेश भगवान की।
गजवदन विनायक, जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
हे मोदक प्रिय मूषक वाहन,
हे मोदक प्रिय
करते हम तेरा आवाहन,
करते हम तेरा आवाहन।
सारे जग के भाग्य विदायक।
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक, जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश। लंबोदर हर प्रिय दो माता,
लंबोदर हर प्रिय दो माता,
महाबली कुमार के भ्राता,
महाबली कुमार के भ्राता।
सर्व विघ्न देवों के नायक।
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक, जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
जय गणपति, जय गणपति,
जय गणपति,
गणपति,
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक, जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
जय गणेश, जय जय गुण सागर,
जय गणेश, जय जय गुण सागर।
जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय जय गुण सागर।
जय गणेश, जय जय गुण सागर।
क्लेश हरो आदेश दया कर,
क्लेश हरो आदेश दया कर।
अचल भक्ति दो विधि निर्णायक।
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक, जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
महावीर मुर मंगलदायक,
महावीर मूल मंगलदायक।
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक,
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
जय गणपति गजवदन विनायक।
पाहि गजानन जिनावना,
पाहि गजानन गजानना।
पाहि गजानन जिनावना,
पाहि गजानन विजानना।
सिंधुरवदना श्रितजनपालन, 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 सिंधुरवदना श्रितजनपालन। पाहि गजानन दीनावना,
पाहि गजानन
अंबिकतनया अमरारीश्वर
अंबिकतनया अमरारीश्वर
अंबिकतनया अमरारीश्वर
अंबिकतनया
अमरारीश्वर अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक
अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
पाहि गजानन गजानना
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
पाहि गजानन गजानना
सिंधुरवदना सितजन पालन
विदुरवदना स्वितजन पालन
सिंधुरवदना सितजन पालन
सिन्दूरवदना स्वितजन पालन
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
पाहि गजानन दीनानना
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
अंबिकतनया अमरारीश्वर
अंबिकतनया अमकारीश्वर
अंबिकतनया अमरारीश्वर
अंबिकतनया अमरारीश्वर
अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक
अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक
अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक
अगणित गुणगण आनंददायक
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
पाहि गजानन दीनानना
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
पाहि गजानन दीनानना
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
पाहि गजानन दीनानना
पाहि गजानन दीनावना
Before we stand for Archie, just a couple of announcements. I will not repeat the dates of the Ganesh Utsav celebration, save and except to say that we start on Tuesday, and the dates I have alluded to before. So we look forward to seeing you all for each and every evening of the Ganesh Utsav festival to perform your puja and indeed for yagya. Special welcome is extended to all persons who are here with us this morning, either physically or those viewing us online. And for those of you who are back with us after some period of absence, we are grateful, we are very happy to see you, and we look for your continued presence here at the Mandir. Those of you who wish to perform puja or hawan on a Sunday morning, you are asked to see Mrs. Rama Umrao to give your name so that the arrangements can be made for you to perform either hawan or your puja if you so desire. Those persons who would like to make contributions towards the upkeep and maintenance of the Mandir, again, you are asked to see members of the management committee who are at the back of the Mandir after service, and we kindly welcome your generous contributions because that's what keeps us going in terms of the maintenance of the Mandir and our activities that are ongoing. The Bal Vihar class will be resuming in September, and you'll be hearing more about that. Those students who are returning back to university, I know university starts a little ahead of the secondary school program and primary school program. So those students who are returning or who are starting university, and I know there are some of you who are doing that, we want to wish you Bhagwanji's blessings for your continued success in your undertakings. This morning, permit me to take a moment to recognize the efforts of one of our young men, a devotee of the Mandir, someone who has been with us for many, many years together with his family. He was a former president of the youth group of the Krishna Mandir. I speak of none other than Dariel Ramharak, who recently completed his tertiary studies and was awarded a first-class honors in his management degree. So please, congratulations, Dariel. That's a tremendous achievement. And may you continue to be the fine young man that you are. And indeed, that's an example for many others. To persistence, hard work, and perseverance really does reap the rewards that you deserve and that you've earned. So may Bhagwan continue to bless you. In addition, those persons who may be celebrating their birthdays or their anniversaries, we want to extend Bhagwanji's blessings to you. May you continue to enjoy all of the good and all of the wonderful things in life. I also want to extend our condolences to persons who may have lost their loved ones. Some persons have passed on, and we have not had the opportunity to properly and in a proper way to extend our condolences. So I'm doing so this morning in a very general way. You know who you are, and you know your families, and you know the families I'm speaking about. Our condolences and our best wishes to you on this, at this time when you are seeking that solace of Bhagwan. Finally, I want to remind you of our fundraiser that is coming up in October, and that is a takeaway breakfast involving several takaris that Mukesh is making, and some sada roti that I will be seeking, and some fry bake that Amral will be doing, as well as other things, condiments. That will be on the 9th of October, and this is a long outstanding fundraiser that we are using to raise funds. The portions are very generous. The ticket prices are value for money, so it's $100 per ticket. It's on the 9th of October. That's a Sunday morning. So you come to the Mandir as soon as service is finished. You get your breakfast, and it can couple as lunch as well for yourselves and your family. So those of you who have tickets for sale, we invite you to please continue pushing out those tickets. Those of you who do not have tickets and are here this morning, please see Mrs. Umrao, and Rama is standing to the corner there. So just please look back. She's waving at you, right? So please take some tickets from her so that you can patronize the events of the Mandir and our activities. Finally, I just want to say temporary farewell to some of our members. So last week, some members left because they were returning to university. This week, two of our young ladies, Ambika and Vandana, are returning to university. We will miss you both, especially on a Sunday morning. So they will be going back off to university, so we won't be seeing them. And there are a couple others who are leaving, and as their time comes up, I will be mentioning those as well. So at this juncture, therefore, have I missed anything? Members at the back, we good? Yoga class tomorrow, 5:30. Yeah. So you'll have yoga classes tomorrow evening from 5:30. Those of you who are members, please come. Those of you who would like to join, you're also invited. Let's all now stand for final arati and then closing prayer.
Om Jai Jagadish Hari Swami Jai Jagadish Hari Bhakt Jano ke sankat Das Jano ke sankat Kshar mein dur kari Om Jai Jagadish Hari Jo dhyavi phal pavi Dukh bin se man ka Swami dukh bin se man ka Sukh sampati ghar aave Sukh sampati ghar aave Kash mite tan ka Om Jai Jagadish Hari Mata pita tum mere sharan gahu kiski Swami sharan gahu kiski तुम बिन और न दूजा तुम बिन और न दूजा आश करो जिसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरि तुम पूरन परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ अपने हाथ उठाओ द्वार पर आते रे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा स्वामी पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट संजली दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
Hari Om. Oh Prabhu, we've come before you this morning, filled with our love and our devotion. We've surrendered ourselves completely to you, seeking your divine intervention in our lives, to uplift us when we feel downtrodden, to guide us when we feel lost, and to inspire us when we feel that sense of desperation. Oh Prabhu, this morning we pray not only for ourselves and our family, we pray not only for our community and for all that there is there, but we pray as well for our country. O Prabhu, uplift us all, guide us all, inspire us all, protect us all. For you are mother and father, you are family, you are friend, you are knowledge, you are wealth, you are everything to us. We surrender ourselves completely to you. Hari Om. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, आज शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी मैया की जय, श्री पवनपुत्र हनुमान की जय। प्रेम से बोले श्री सच्चे सनातन धर्म की जय। चिंत those around you, सब कोई जय सीताराम, जय सीताराम, जय सीताराम। We look forward to seeing you all, brothers and sisters, with us on Tuesday for puja at 10 a.m. and then after that from Wednesday evening from 6 p.m. every evening as we engage in our celebration and Ganesh Puja. May you have a very powerful day, a very wonderful day. May you all stay safe. Jai Sitaram.